And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of Dock Tales, a Fisherman's Story. Believe it or not, this is episode number 25. Can you believe that, Jodi?
Nope, it's crazy.
Yeah. It just seemed like it wasn't that long ago that you were selling me on this idea. So anyways, if by looking at the screen, this man needs no introduction. If you follow us, you know that Aaron and I are great buddies, and we spend a lot of time together, and we're going to give him a chance to tell his story to people that don't make it to the dock. So welcome Aaron Elliott of Catfish Regulators, aka some of you know him as the Catfish Instigator. Some of you know him as the Catfish Infuriator. And some of you know him as Spice Boy.
Yeah, I wonder who started that. Thank you, Tom, and Miss Jodi.
Hey, before we get started, I'd just like to take a moment and congratulate our great friend Chris Lee from Hooks and Hammocks. Chris was fishing today by himself, and he happened into an 86.5 pound blue cat. And he put a video out just about an hour ago now, and we're going to have It's All Mine's going to drop the link in here. If you haven't already seen it, it's a great battle, and I'm so happy for Chris, and we want to congratulate him. And please check out the video. Chris is a great guy, and he's put a lot of time on the water. He earned that big fish. And also, I'd just like to shout out Susquehanna Stan. Some of you may know he's going in for a procedure tomorrow, and we wish him the best and prayers for his healing, and hopefully he can be back out on the water soon. So having said that, Jodi, do you want to read out some chat? Who we got with us tonight?
All right, let me go up to the top. We got Fishing for Whiskers. Chris Everett, Yak Shores in here. We got Mike's Fishing Home, my CFF. My friend Mike Sampson's in here. And we got Miss Catfish Regulators herself. Laura the Explorer. Mr. Gadget Fishing. James Kirkpatrick. Hooks and Hammocks. Brian B. Catfishing's ready to get the party started. Now, remember if I said Mr. Gadget Fishing yet or not. Art, 1 ton, he's in here. Palmetto Cats is in here. Patriot Catfishers of America. David Smith. It's All Mine, Michelle. Uncle Josh. Trophy Seekers Outdoors, Daryl. He's the current champ right now. Then we've got the Wandering Fisherman, Buck Williams. He's another instigator.
Yeah.
Dale Hayslip. Quiet Man Curtis. And I think I've got back to the list right there.
All righty. I think I didn't see anybody that you didn't get. Did you say Steve Adams, or he just pop up?
He just popped up.
All right. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Hope you enjoy the show. Aaron, anything you want to start with?
I just want to tell everybody thank you for coming in. I see Brian B. and everybody in here. Congratulate Chris from Hooks and Hammock. I see he's in here. I appreciate the opportunity, Tom and Jodi. Much appreciated.
Well, we wouldn't have waited so long to have you on if you would just quit that job and hung out with us at night. But
yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, worked for me.
Everybody's dream.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we had Annette and Chucky Morgan come in too.
Excellent. Welcome, everybody. All right, so why don't we get started? Aaron, why don't you tell us about your early life? What are your first memories of fishing?
Well, I grew up in a little town in Chattanooga, Tennessee called Appleton Pike. It's near Collegedale. Collegedale is actually home of Little Debbie, which Jodi knows.
Of course.
And then it's Ottawa. So I grew up in Appleton. And yes, we used to walk to school, elementary school. And we used to go wading in creeks, taking lizards and stuff like that for show and tell to scare the girls. And then me and my best buddy, we would go. The neighbor across the street went out of town. And he didn't allow no fishing, so we would sneak in his pond when he was out of town and go bass fishing. So I had hooked into I think it was a 6.5 pound bass.
Wow.
I went running back across the road, and when I did, I tripped over a root in the yard, and I hit the corner of his steps right behind my ear.
Oh.
And next thing I know, I seen stars, and I woke up in the hospital.
Wow.
And Mama said they knew everything was going to be all right when the first thing out of my mouth was, "Where's my fish?"
Very nice.
Other than that, my great uncle, he had a big dairy farm. He had a lot of farm ponds. One of the best memories I have of my real dad is he took me fishing, and he had a small pond out in the field. I mean, I bet it was probably about half the size of your yard. You could throw a rod all the way across it. And I was like, you know what? I said, let's go out here and fish this pond. Well, there ain't nothing in that pond. I said, let's go fish it anyway. So back then, Mr. Twister rubber worms was the big thing with the little curly tails on them. So my dad tied one of them on, and he was back behind me, and I didn't know it. And when I ran back to throw it, I caught him in the head.
Uh-oh.
So amongst the cussing and everything else that I heard, he finally got it out of his hair. And the first cast after that, I caught a 7.5 pound bass.
Wow.
And other than that, I mean, my grandma catfished. My great uncle had a catfish pond that he stocked with fish, and she would come up, my grandma, my mom, and they'd sit on the banks and fish. And we would fish Harrison Bay State Park for crappie, and then I got swiped up one day and brought to North Carolina after my grandfather had passed away. So been up here since I was probably 6 or 7 years old. And I've always been one that loves to fish, loves the everything. So me and one of my best friends, we got us a 96 Procraft bass boat together, and we used to go around bass fish during the day. Then I'd take the boat and catfish during the night.
Mm-hmm.
And went one way down the other. I moved away and started working somewhere else. So he took half the boat with him, and I sold him the other half. And then eventually I'd got another boat, but then I couldn't ever find nobody to go fishing with me from where I was at. So at the time, my nephew was in the Marines, and nobody around me just wanted to go fishing. So I ended up selling the boat to the maintenance guy at the apartment complex where I used to live. So then I had gotten married, and the wife at the time, she seemed like she wanted to go fishing. So we went a few times, caught some catfish, and then was like, you know what, we're going to buy a boat. So we ended up buying a 2002 Bass Tracker, Protein 175, just like Chad's got. And I kept that forever. It only had like 80 hours on the boat. And me and Wandering Fisherman, you know, we used to work together at AKG, and you know, me and him sort of talking, got back and forth, and he liked fishing and I liked fishing. So then, you know, we was gonna go out and start catfishing and stuff together. And I think one of the I know he's in here. One of the best memories he could probably tell you, if you ever talked to him, of I took him and his son out on the boat. I had just got my boat back from a guy at work who said he was going to do a little electrical work on it, but he didn't keep it in the shelter or nothing. So one of the front decking had went and rotted without, me knowing how bad it was. So I took Warner and Fisherman and his son out on a boat with me one day. And I went to set the hook on a big fish. Well, when I went to set the hook, I reeled down on him and went back. And when I went back, I kept going back all the way into the water.
Ooh.
That was a pretty funny day.
Wow.
But we went home, fished the rest of the day. We didn't go home or nothing, but I know he got a kick out of that. He made sure I was all right first, though, but it was funny.
Yep. He says he remembers it.
Yeah, it was funny.
So you had a catfish baptism.
I had a lot of baptism, it seemed like. Once again, I lost the phone in that deal.
Mm.
You don't have much luck with phones.
I got a lot of luck with phones. Except I have to go buy one whenever the other one, after being under the water for 2 weeks, still works. And what's
that's
funny
amazing.
about that is I watched Jeremy Weekend Angler. He's got the same phone that I have.
Yeah.
And I heard him say that he dropped his in the water and he went back and found his, and his is powering back up and working too. So it's kind of amazing.
Wow. It's too bad you had to get the other phone though, in the interim.
Yeah, well, I just give the other one to my nephew. He needs something to look Google up on while he's outside.
Yeah. So, hey, when did you turn your attention to catfishing as opposed to bass or other species?
Well, I guess the true meaning to that would be is, how often do you like sitting out in 100-degree weather during the day catfishing and bass fishing, whenever you can sit under the stars at night when there ain't no sun out to make you feel miserable. So it's kind of the sun leading me towards more catfishing than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I love catfishing. I've always loved catfishing. I've seen a lot of weird stuff on the lake at nighttime. I think one of the memories from Jordan Lake, when I had a boat, I took a guy out from work. We got off work at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we went fishing at Jordan Lake, which is about 35 minutes down the road. And we was sitting out there one night, and you could just hear off in the distance. I mean, you hear something come over, and you're looking up like, man, what in the world is that? And you're thinking something out of the X-Files. You're like, what's going on here? And then a few minutes later, there'll be another one come over. And you're looking up like, there ain't no airplane. So I had a 1.5 million watt candle spotlight. So the next time we heard it come over, I took the thing and shined it straight up, and it was katydids. It was swarms and swarms of them, and they started dive bombing the boat. We got back to the boat ramp, the power poles, you couldn't step without stepping on them. They was everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, they only come out, I think every 10, 15 years.
The cicadas?
Yeah, the cicadas.
I think they're every 17 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Hey, they make great carp bait. When I was a kid, I went to a local reservoir, and there was just fish busting everywhere, and I thought they were huge bass. And so I saw that they were eating all the cicadas that had fallen on the water. So I put some on my line, and you just lightly cast them without a weight, and they actually fly out over the water, and you just engage your reel when you get them out to where you want them, and they'll fall to the water. And they turned out to be like big schools of giant, at the time, to me, they were giant, 10, 15, 20-pound carp. I actually destroyed a spinning reel that day, the drag on it. It really wasn't all that expensive of a reel, but it just destroyed that thing. I threw it away after I finished fishing that day. It was great. But we haven't had them down here. Last time that they came out, we didn't really see that many of them. I know to the north, in Northern Virginia, I know that they had quite a bunch of those. And they can be overwhelming. Yeah. So there's a question here, and I was going to ask you about it, but somebody's already asked, what is NC Jelly Donuts?
Ooh, NC Jelly Donuts. Well, I'll just go into the story that when I met One Ton and LG Bass. How about that?
Yep.
I had met One Ton and LG Bass. Actually, I met One Ton on YouTube and talked to them through their chat and all of that. And I realized that they fish Kerr Lake, and I'm like, you know what? I'm an hour from Kerr Lake. I said, I talked to Wandering Fisherman. I said, let's ride up there and meet these guys one time. So we did, and I think it was Art and Josh and LG came over there, and we sat out there and fished Kerr. Tom and everybody was using chicken, and I was all bullheaded. I ain't using that stuff. All it catches is small fish. So I sit there all day long and didn't catch not one fish. And then when I got home that night, I messaged Tom. I said, "Hey, what's your recipe for the chicken?"
Yeah. I wasn't going to jump in on that, but yeah, that was an awkward day. Aaron was kind of stubborn about it. If you haven't heard me tell that story, and it really shocked me, that he was just aggravated over the whole chicken thing, and he wanted no part of it. And I thought, man, what a grumpy guy. He says, I don't know if we'll see him fish with us. I don't know if he's going to come around anymore. He didn't look like he had a good time, and he did. He sent me the message, hey, how do I make that chicken? And we've fished every Friday since. So,
yeah. Made a lot of good friends through this fishing community, met some cool people. And but anyway, the NC Jelly Donuts, they're a donut place that's actually in my little local city here. And I stop by there in the mornings, and I used to take a dozen or two donuts up there because I knew when I went up there that they would have no problem eating them, because I told them, I said, these donuts is nothing like Krispy Kreme. They make like 2 and 3 of Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, they kind of got the nickname of donuts on steroids. These things were so big and so wonderful.
Yeah, and that's how I became. Every time I'd go up there, I'd get a dozen donuts to take with me, and it got to the point where if I didn't take them, they was wanting to know if I was sick.
Here's like the ice cream man. When Aaron would pull up, everybody would huddle around his car waiting for him to open the donuts.
There's some good donuts.
And so consequently, I did put their link in the description tonight. So if anybody wants to check them out, they have, I guess I was reading it last night, they're a family-owned business, and they have 2 stores. The one by you and one in Burlington, I believe it said. But there's some pictures on there, and even the pictures look tasty.
Yeah,
and if you get a chance,
the maple bacon ones was a big hit from what I noticed.
Yeah, they were. Geez, they all were. Even the apple fritter, to me, was incredible.
And I could tell you a funny story about that. When my wife first moved here, I took my wife and her friend to Jelly Donuts, and I was like, well, we went in there, and I was like, we got donuts, and it's just like, you know what? They just brought out a big pan of these apple fritters. I told my wife, I said, well, if you want an apple fritter, right here they are. They're nice and warm and hot and fresh. And she's like, okay, go ahead and give me 1 or 2. And we didn't make it out of the parking lot. She was digging into the bag. It was melting in her mouth. She looked like a kid with this stuff drooling out of her face. It was the best thing you'd ever seen. She was like a kid in school.
Yeah, they are. Those are delicious. And yeah, Josh, you can blame me why Aaron doesn't bring them anymore. Unfortunately, my doctor is not a fan of NC Jelly Donuts and me having a relationship. So I had asked him, please don't do that, because I can't I can't control myself. And I see them, I can't just say everybody else have a donut. I can't do it. So if you do want some by special request, handle it amongst yourselves. But I'm serious. If you're ever down in that area, if you look at that website, go check these people out. Those donuts are incredible.
Yeah, this lady has pictures on the wall of Mike Epps, and there's a lot of celebrities that stepped into this little bitty place here in Melbourne and got donuts. Pretty nice place. And then now they're opening the Dunkin' Donuts right in front of them.
Oh,
Wow.
My nephew's.
I don't think that
my nephew's threatening to go in Dunkin' Donuts the first time, wanting to know if they got a donut the size of the jelly donuts, and turn around and walk out.
yeah. See now the Dunkin' Donuts, most of them don't make the donuts fresh every day like they used to. At least like the one up here, it's not a full store. It's within the convenience store, and their donuts aren't like they were when I was a kid. Growing up, Dunkin' Donuts was on every corner like McDonald's in New England. And they're a New England-based company, and they were everywhere. And that's why my love for them. But I'd rather have the NC jelly donut over any of the Dunkin' Donuts. But I'd still get the Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and then go get the jelly donut from them.
Right.
Anything, Jodi? Anything going on?
you've got quite a few in chat come in. Let me call them out real quick.
Yeah. Oh, just before you do, Bob, I just saw this. I just put it up. Bobcat. Hey, let's talk about catfishing, please.
You got Mike
He's getting
Irvin.
hungry.
Mike Irvin come in. Catfishing with Cause. David Smith. Potomac River Monsters. Bugman 22. Mr. Kitty Whiskers. James Kirkpatrick. Jeremy Tournament Cats. The Wandering Fisherman. Uncle Josh. Gray Family Fishing. Takedown Catfishing. Lance McCouguy. Justin's Fishing Fetish. Bobcat Outdoors. Dallas Liebert. PNB Catfishing. Fishing for Whiskers. CVA. And Mr. Gadget. And Brian wants to know when we're on the car ride. We're ready to go on another car ride.
What was that?
Brian,
yeah. That's what Mr. Gadget said you live. So eat the donuts. So do you have any questions or anything, Jodi?
I like what Brian just said about the car ride. I enjoy that when you're driving to the dock.
Yeah.
The ride-alongs. So that's
right.
Yeah, usually I got a sidekick partner when that happens, but with her work, she's on call again this weekend, so she won't be able to go fishing with me this weekend. She was on call the week before last, so I'll be flying solo again this weekend. So I might go live on the way up there to talk to y'all, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even I enjoy that, even though you're coming here, and I'll see you when you get here. But at least I can follow you on the road by the road signs and know how close you are, so I know if I have time to walk the dogs or jump in the shower or make sure everything's ready when you get here. Right. So I use that as a monitor.
I would like to say Aaron's probably the one who brought me on my shell. The Instigator.
Really?
Yep.
The Instigator, yep.
Because we was up late of the night.
Let's talk about that.
We was always up late of the night, and I was kind of shy. And it'd be me, Jeremy, and Mike, and Lance, and Bacon Jim. We all kind of run together, usually on Mike's channel. And then all of a sudden, Jeremy's like, no one ever calls me out. And I'm like, I'll call you out fishing. And then here comes Aaron. Why don't you make it a Flathead challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he got all that started, and then we went back and forth for weeks, arguing back and forth, smack talking of a night. And that's kind of what brought me out of my shell and actually made me so rotten right now. So you can thank him for that.
So he actually kickstarted your channel, your challenge.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Josh, you're welcome. I created the monster y'all know as Jodi.
Hey, Chris wants to know why you talk funny.
I don't know why I talk funny. I guess it's a North Carolina, Tennessee thing, Chris. Same reason you talk funny from Indiana. Your Hoosier state. Or Hoser state. However you want to use it.
I think I just saw a question here. That pork chop just came in, I believe. Welcome. There you go. This was on the list. Tell us about some lady from Nevada. How'd that all come about?
Well, it takes a prolonged story of, I guess it would be my best PB I've ever caught off the dock, Tom.
I would agree with you.
I haven't seen anybody other than Tim King catch one that's bigger. But yeah, we was on wow, I have to remember. We was on a live one night, I think. Well, what time of night is this? Can I say things I want to say? We was on a live like on a Friday night, like we normally do. It was after 2:00, and everybody was in there. Miss Becca, Stan, and I know Uncle Josh and them was in there. And I work third shift, so I used to get off work at 5:00 on Friday mornings and drive straight to the dock. And then me and Tom would fish all day Friday, stay up all night Friday night, and then I wouldn't come home till like 9 or 10 on Saturday morning. So I remember falling asleep on the dock, go figure. I fell asleep 3 times that I know of. One time I fell asleep, I forgot what they was talking about. Next time I fell asleep, it was talking about some kind of something with snails and something to do with Stan and let's just say that something he only had, everybody saying he had one of. But and then the next time I fell asleep, Josh and Becca were singing Christmas carols, and I was like, how long have I been asleep? But Lisa and them was in there, and I'd seen her in chats and stuff before, and never thought anything about it. And I had left that morning and got up to Tom's, and I checked my messages through the night, and she had sent me a message that morning apologizing for the way she was acting on the stream, with Stan and all of them in there. She felt embarrassed and out of place and didn't want me to think she was some crazy psycho lady. So she started apologizing. I was like, you know what? I ain't got time to type all of this. So when I sent her a message back, I said, hey, if you'd like to talk, here's my phone number. I'm on my way home. You can talk to me as I'm riding down the road. Well, so you call? She sent me a message back. No, I can't call right now. I'm helping my friend move furniture. So I was like, all right, she blew me off. I ain't got to worry about it now. I won't hear nothing out of her no more. So later on that night, my phone rings and it's her. And I knew whenever she answered the phone and she heard my voice, we knew that it was meant to be, really. just that type of feeling. And we've been together ever since. Best part of my life, and I love her. I wouldn't take nothing for her, not even a donut. So that's the best thing I had caught off the dock, and that's how the watered down version of everything that was getting talked about on the dock through the night, was going. Y'all would just have to be there. Brian B, I'm assuming, was there, if I remember correctly, him and Stan and everybody, but it used to get kind of wild after 2 a.m.
Yeah, it sure did. So Art wants to know, why did you start a YouTube channel?
Well, me and Wandering had talked about it, and like I said, we went fishing at Jordan Lake. We'd go here, then we was trying to look for other places like on the Cape Fear River, which I know has good fish, but they got different areas you could fish, different locks and stuff, and so we just started fishing, and we was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to go live and see how many people comes in and starts watching, talk to. And I mean, if we catch anything, we do. If we don't, we don't. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. So that's basically why. I mean, I was watching everybody on YouTube and seeing, everybody's like, well, somebody needs to go live more often. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go live. So me and Wandering, every time we would go, we'd try to go live wherever we was at. And then Wandering ended up getting another job and leaving, and just left it up for me. And I know he's still got his channel, and if y'all check him out, it's the Wandering Fisherman, and he's a pretty cool guy, good friend. And
now, is his son 12 Gauge still doing videos, or?
I don't know if 12 Gauge is still doing videos or not, but I know I seen his message a while ago, said they would be fishing Jordan Lake tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've seen stuff from Sean every now and then, but I haven't seen nothing from, what's his name, Zane? Is that his name?
Yeah, Zane.
Zane, yeah. Yep. He's a good fisherman. He came fish with us one night, actually.
Yeah, I remember him holding up the flathead that I caught at Kerr Lake. I think it was like 13 pounds. I got pictures of that. Off of 5th Street.
Yeah. See, Mike's Fishing Home. What made you tell JTC to challenge Jodi for flatheads on my steps? LOL, just kidding. I know it's the instigator in you.
Yeah, I got tired of them going back and forth and nobody ever making a decision. So I took it upon myself to put it up there. Sometimes you got to put it in people's faces to get them to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
It's like Jodi. Ever since that day, ever since she challenged JTC, it's like, oh, I'll challenge anybody in the world, blah, blah, blah. Jodi, big-headed Jodi at the time. She could do no wrong. And everybody that she went up against, she whooped them or had them do some crazy makeup challenge or something, And the instigator kicked in with me one day, and I was like, you know what? Come to the dock. Come fish my waters right here next to me, and let's see what you made of. And that's how the polar plunge came about. If anybody wants to see it, you can go on my TikTok and watch the video. It's a real good video. It's a nice clear color.
Yeah.
It's actually video with Jodi's phone. Yeah. So thank you, Jodi.
That's actually my content.
Yeah.
It's your content. It's on my TikTok. So she came up there. She did. She was a woman of her words. We sit out there fishing, and I even offered to help throw her rods out to the channel because the girl can't throw no further than a paper sack. I mean, I don't know what it is with y'all boat people, but y'all boat people, even Chris and Hooks and Hammy, y'all can't throw no more than 50 yards. And I really don't know what it is. Everybody, even Ryan Bortz and them, they couldn't throw when they come up there. They couldn't. Nobody throw out to the channel. But I told her I'd throw her rods out, and then some certain individual named Hogleg made the comment of, "Oh, look, she needs a man to throw her rods out." And that's all it took. I don't need you to throw my rods out. I don't need a man for nothing. Therefore, she wouldn't let me throw her rods out to the channel, so she got her butt beat, and therefore she had to do the walk of shame in some pretty cold waters at the time.
Yeah, that was what, in October?
Yeah, it was pretty cold waters, which, like I said, I felt bad for her doing it, but you know, she was a woman. She made the bet, and she went right down over there and had the guts to walk right down the book ramp, and then she plunged into the water just like a mermaid.
Mermaid Jodi. Yeah. I was proud of her. I told her, I said, you might have won the tournament, Aaron, but she won the night. She made a lot of fans that night by keeping her word.
She learned a lot of respect from me that night. She did what she said she was going to do.
I had a good time.
Yeah. Now, after Jodi dried off and got on some fresh clothes, did anything else happen that night? Or that morning, I should say?
Jodi had went up to change clothes and to dry off and all of this good stuff. Well, while she was up there, I threw her rods out off the end of the dock, and she come back down, her and Tom. I mean, you can watch this too, because it's like in slow motion, like Baywatch. So we're sitting there, I'm sitting in the chair, Jodi's facing me, Tom's right here looking towards the rods, and I turn around and look, and Jodi's rod just gets hammered. I mean, buried, and drag starts peeling. I'm like, Jodi, rod. Jodi's like, rod, Jodi, and it looked like slow motion. To go get her rod. And instead of going and getting a rod and picking up on it, she pulled the rod straight, and when she did, it broke her 80-pound leader line like it wasn't nothing. We never got to see what that was, but it was a big fish.
Yeah.
And that was not even 30 minutes after the tournament was over with.
It was 100 pounds.
It was whatever. Wow.
Well, it was only because I love Jodi so much that it stopped me from hip checking her out of the way and grabbing that rod when I heard that reel screaming.
Then after the line broke, I tried to pass it off to Tom to see if he wanted to reel it in. He's like, no, I don't want it now.
Now, Jodi, you had the opportunity. You came back for a second trip, and you had a casting contest with Aaron, since he's talking about your casting. How'd that go?
I whooped him.
No.
Yeah. We had a casting contest, and he beat me the first time. And he said best 2 out of 3. And I'm like, all right, sucker. I get the first cast was right-handed. And where I'm on a boat, I cast all different ways. So I picked the second cast to be backwards and the third cast to be left-handed. And I mopped him up with it.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Nope.
You can go back and watch the video on my live, which is still up, by the way, and you can hear me tell Jodi that we will do it for fun, because she even tried to get Tom. She even tried to get Art's daddy involved in it. I mean, the guy can't throw, he can't throw near the Art, and she tried to get him involved in it.
Tom throw.
And we all told him it would be for fun. So let's go ahead and talk about this casting. If anybody ever fishes with Miss Jodi, make sure you're on the left side of her. She can throw. I promise you, she can throw. She can't throw that far. But if she's over here, she's gonna cross all your lines going to the right. Her last cast to try to outcast me was 75 foot up into the top of an oak tree. Nowhere near the water.
That was the end of the competition. We lost our sinker.
We all have it's all about fun. That's the way it's always been.
Well, yeah, I remember the casting contest. I had never casted with my offhand, and I had never casted backwards. So that was all new to me. And I actually kind of was worried about it doing the backwards one, that I was going to hit myself in the head with the sinker on the way by. I closed my eyes when I did it. I don't know where it landed.
About 10 foot behind you.
Yeah. As long as it hit the water, I was good. As long as it didn't hit me. But I actually, if you remember, I wanted to do a fourth challenge between the legs. Cast it between the legs. And no, we don't want to do that. All right.
Let's see. Art wants to hear about dog stories from Rudge.
So Kelly said, Aaron is a real friend, tells me the truth, even if it hurts.
Oh, ain't no sense trying to not tell you the truth.
That's true.
Let me see if we got any other questions here.
Let's see. Art, let's just tell the story from Rudge. Me and Art and Josh is fishing. It's still deer season. And the people's running dogs all around in Virginia. And me and Josh and Art are sitting there fishing. It's cold as everything. And see, across the lake, we could see two, three dogs coming running up we done seen the deer run up the edge of the woods. The dogs was way behind. And so the dogs, they turned around and come back and was sitting over there along the edge of the bank like they was lost. So Brainiac there, Josh, starts whistling for the dogs. And sure enough, dog jumped in the water and swam the whole lake to come over there. So by this time, Josh is already feeling bad. He had to go get a blanket out of his truck just to come and hold the dog in because the dog was freezing to death.
Yeah.
But Josh he whistled for a dog, and the dog swam the whole lake to come to Josh.
Yeah, that had to be at least a quarter mile across to the other side of that creek. That's the wide part of the creek back there.
Anybody ever wants to know about the bite time and the best bite time? All you got to do is contact Josh from 1 Ton. He can tell you on his phone when the time to be fishing is.
And what does he call that?
I call him the Great Swami, but I don't know what he calls it.
No, the epic bite window.
Oh, yeah, the epic bite window. That's what he calls it. Anybody wants to know the epic time to be fishing, just contact Josh from 1 Ton Fishing Club and ask him what time the epic bite is for the day. That's your fishing report brought to you courtesy of Josh from 1 Ton Fishing Club.
And Uncle Josh's bladesmithing.
Right.
Hey, Michael Murillo wants to know how Aaron got into Brian's garage. What the fish snatcher is going on with that?
You don't like my sign? You don't like my sign, Michael? Brian don't have one of them.
Welcome to Off the Hook Outdoors. It's All Mine wants to hear the Christmas story.
Which Christmas story would that be? The one of the Uncle Lou rods?
I believe so.
So,
Is that or the prime rib roast? I'm not sure.
Oh Lord, don't even get me started on that. I don't have enough time to tell all of that. I couldn't even eat dessert after that day. So Christmas, I had Christmas with Tom and Michelle, and Michelle had threatened me numerous of times that if I didn't come up there for Christmas, my ghost had better come up and walk through the door, or Tom wasn't being able going to get his Christmas present. So whenever Michelle threatens you as many knives as she has around her house, you kind of generally do what she wants you to do. You know, you got to do it. So regardless of everything, I ended up showing up on Christmas, and come find out she was trying to call somebody on the phone. I never put two and two together until afterwards. But she was trying to get in touch with my wife, and my wife was fortunately on call, and she was on a call with a patient. She couldn't get through, so she come in there and she reached behind the Christmas tree and she come out with Uncle Lou rod. Well, her first thing was, "Here, Aaron, I got you an Uncle Lou rod." Uncle Lou didn't have any in it for Tom. And by this time, I was already fixing to just hand the rod to Tom, say, "Here, buddy, you can have mine for Christmas. This is your Christmas." Tom's like, "What are you doing? What are you giving him a rod for?" So I was already fixing to hand him the rod. She said, No, it's fine, it's fine." So Tom was like, "What in the frick did you just do? You give him my rod." So she had another rod hid behind the Christmas tree that she come out with and give Tom. It was pretty comical at the time.
Yeah, it was.
So therefore, that's how I realized that, Tom wasn't going to get his Christmas unless I was there.
Right. And then she ordered us to go fishing so that she could make dinner for us.
Her exact words was, "Get out of the house, go fishing."
Yep.
And I don't know how many people in here knows anything about Italians for Christmas, but let me just tell you this story. So we eat that afternoon. So we're sitting at the table. She brings in this whole big platter of meatballs and everything. I mean, like, was it spaghetti or something, wasn't it? What was it?
Yep.
So we're sitting there. I was like, "Man, that's a lot of spaghetti, a lot of meatballs, you know." And so by this time, you've already had your second plate of it, and then they're sitting there like, I'm like, "All right, we're done." And there's like, "No, we're not done. This ain't even the main course." I said, "Main course?" So next thing you know, she walks in with this big giant thing of prime rib and sets it in front of her, and you're like, "I ain't got room for this." So against better judgment, you slice off a piece and you just eat it the best way possible that you can. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna stay for dessert?" I said, "No, I'm going home. I don't want no dessert." But if you ever have Christmas with them, be prepared and don't eat 2 plates out of the first course. Just don't.
Well, I mean, she did, in fairness, she did post the menu for everybody to view, so everybody knew what was coming.
No, I missed that. I missed that memo.
Michael Murillo, I want to know when the epic bite window is for some chicken wings. There you go. I'm in agreement with that.
What's up, James Kirkpatrick? I appreciate everybody stepping in tonight. Me and Tom, let's see. How you want to do this, Tom? I know you got more questions for me. You just want me to go into one of your questions I know you have?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. This is your time.
I know Tom has a question. He wants to know how we started fishing the dock. So I I had somebody that I had met on YouTube that lives in my little town here that wanted to go fishing. I told him, I said, well, you can follow me up. We'll go fish Kerr Lake. And I said, you ain't never caught a blue or nothing before. And, Kerr Lake's full of them. So me and Tom go up. We get there first thing that morning, and we fit. Was like 16 hours.
Yep.
3 different spots. And the only fish that we catch ended up being a channel cat for this guy. So we ended up going to the 4th spot, which is Bluestone. And
Right.
I think Josh was there with us at Bluestone.
Yeah, like 2 a.m. when we got there.
Yeah. So we was fishing Bluestone for a little while. We was trying to get bait. And Tom looked at me and he's like, he said, I got a dock we could go fishing. I mean, it's just 16 hours on Kerr Lake with not even one bite of a blue. So we had some fresh shad that we got. The guy that got for us off the dock there at Bluestone. And I said, Tom, it ain't going to hurt. We ain't caught nothing all day. So what's it going to hurt? Let's go. So 35 to 40 minutes later, we ended up down on the dock. And we basically, until a few days this summer, we fished the dock about every single Friday.
Yep.
We caught, 22 fish, 23 fish the first night we fished the dock?
Yeah, 22, 23 fish in like 8 hours.
And it ended up catching a 45 that morning before going home.
Yep.
And we just fished the dock ever since. Now, I did go fish Kerr Lake at, a couple spots this year, when the bite tapered off a little bit at the dock, but ended up back at the dock. I mean, it is a good place to fish. And we've kind of made it a nice place that a lot of people wants to come and fish.
Yep.
And we've got to meet a lot of people that's come there. Chris and Telly from Hooks and Hammock, they're super nice people.
Yep, absolutely.
I didn't get a chance to meet Chad and see Dee whenever they was there, but I would have loved to have done that. We've sent
But you
out
met them
invitation to Real Time Fishing, Mr. John Parker, to come to the dock.
Yep.
Jodi, she's like a sister to me. She come to the dock. She's been to the dock twice now. She probably don't remember her second time to the dock as many times as she fell asleep and dropped her phone in her chair that night. But
Lorianne.
I've got to meet Miss Laurie. She's come to the dock, and I'm gonna tell you what, y'all want to have a great time at the dock. You get Miss Laurie at the dock with some Starbucks. And all you got to do is set up the camera and turn her loose. Next thing you know, she starts seeing UFOs, which by far is nothing more than just a little bitty lightning bug. She's like, "Oh, UFO! Y'all see the UFO?" Like, what are you talking about? That was a lightning bug. Yeah, it was a funny night with her. Anytime you're there with her, she's a good lady.
She's awesome. Yep. Love her to death.
But we get to fish with Josh. I got to meet Kenneth Powell a couple weekends ago at the dock. He's a super nice guy. Who else?
Were you here when Mike Chavez came?
Nope, I ain't gotten to meet Mike yet.
Okay. Now you did get to meet Chad and Dee last year. They were at Wiley.
Yeah, I got to meet a lot of people at Wiley, but
yeah. And then we had Kayak Mike and Ryan Bortz.
Yeah, got to meet them. They're super nice people. I like Ryan a lot.
Guy.
He's pretty cool. I haven't got to fish with Kim King yet, but I have met Kim King, and he's a super nice guy.
Yep.
He runs King's Catfishing Service on Kerr Lake. If anybody would like to book a trip with him,
Yep.
He's a super nice guy. They have put a 130-pound blue cat in the boat this year, which is super cool.
Yeah, he fished a kayak tournament on Gaston last week. He finished in 3rd place.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yep, good for him.
But I know it's Tom's place, and Tom has sort of left the open door that if you'd like to come to the dock, just get with Tom and make sure everything works out great, and come to the dock and fish with us. I mean, we love meeting everybody. I mean, we can't never promise fish. I think Miss Lori came one time, and the only fish we caught that night was one fish the whole night long.
Now, what happened the first time Lisa came?
Oh, would you like to tell them, dear? Come on. Y'all, welcome my wife.
Hey,
Lisa.
what's going on, Lisa?
How are you? Great to see
Doing
you.
well.
Well, the first time I went to the dock, I was in shock because I was at the dock. That's all I could say all night long was, Aaron, we're at the dock.
Yeah.
I'm really here. I spent so many nights watching that dock. It was amazing. But then someone threw Pinky, I don't know, to China or somewhere. And then the next thing I know, he's like, hey, we got fish. We just saw the rod move a little bit, and then the next thing I know, down she goes. So we go running. Oh man. I remember nothing after that. He just kept screaming reel, and I'm like, you don't understand. I can't physically reel this rod. Like, it's not moving. And I just knew I was gonna fall in the water. And the next thing I know, he's got a hold of the back of my pants. Tom's trying to get up there with the net, and I'm like, he's just screaming reel. I'm like, you don't understand. I can't reel this fish. And he's just laughing because he knows it's big. I'm like, whatever. I had no idea how big these fish were. No idea. Oh my land. My heart was going 500 miles a minute. It was crazy.
So how big was it?
Telling you about back me into the water.
Well, it was you or me. Either the fish was going to take me in or I was taking you out. It's sink or swim, babe. That was the best night ever, though. Got to spend it with Aaron.
How big was your fish?
Well, anyway,
35-26.
it
Wow.
was bigger than me. I don't know. I had to sit down. I couldn't even hold on to it. It was just giant. It was amazing.
Yeah. Do you have a picture of it,
I do.
or a wood
I
burning
do.
of
I
it?
have a beautiful wood one that Freddie did that is just gorgeous that we have hanging up. I love it.
He
And
does
it's even
great
more
work.
special because my kids were online that night and I got to be with
Right.
these two. It was like perfect.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep, they were in the chat. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty good deal. He's still my
So what-
personal best, though.
Yeah,
He is a pain in the neck.
that's tough to beat. That's a beautiful fish right there.
Yes, I am, Tom. Thank you.
It is. What he wants to do. My little spice boy.
Yeah, we won't
Spice
talk
boy.
about that story. Tom can leave that story out.
Kids here.
Michael Murillo says there's a kind of hole in the dock.
Yeah, I don't know where. I can't throw that far. Don't even look at me. No. I'm retired now.
We got Hades hole and I guess kind of hole now.
Good.
I don't know where it is, but I'm not fishing in it because I can't risk any bigger fish because I will go right over there to that top. Kelly
Well,
boy, you are so fired. You're fired. You're fired.
What's
No.
Kelly say?
Oh, Kelly, you are so much trouble right now. You are so much trouble right now. So much trouble. So,
Well, as long as you got Aaron as your anchor, you don't got to worry about falling in. As long as he's
That's
holding on.
right.
as long as he hangs on, we're good. Huh. All right.
So-
Well, have a good evening. Thanks so much.
All right, Lisa. Nice seeing you.
You too.
Bye, Lisa.
Oh, she's still sitting here.
We'll see you when you're not on call.
Next week, I'll be there.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
But seriously, you can see the love bearing from them ladies. So, Buck, this is the some lady from Nevada, okay?
Yeah.
We've had
I
a few
seen
more
Chris
times.
Hammett put something in there about a steak the size of his head.
Yeah, the tomahawk.
The first time we met Chris from Hooks and Hammock, I told him, when he come down, I was like, I'm gonna bring you a steak. And told him that it was a pretty decent sized steak. And he come down and I started cooking these steaks. I think it's on a video from over there. Pretty fun. And this steak is actually bigger than Chris's whole head. It's like a 3.5, almost 4 pound tomahawk steak. I mean, Chris was walking around like a caveman, holding it by the bone, just eating. It was just amazing to see that little man eat that big old steak. He might not have ate nothing else to go with it, but he ate that whole steak.
The funny thing is that Aaron gets a tomahawk steak for everybody that's came here, except for me. And I'm happy with donuts. No, don't get me wrong, but I ain't never seen a tomahawk.
Well, I'm gonna have to do something about that, Tom.
Well, we got a place up the street. You don't have to do that. I'm just kidding with you, but we're the deli where we get our the steaks we get up there. We get some beautiful ribeyes. They cut them to order. We've had several steaks. Aaron and I were 2.5 inches thick, and these things they fill up the whole plate. You can't put sides on the plate with this thing. You got to have it on a separate dish.
Good night, Kelly.
Good night, Kelly. Thanks for coming in. We still have 42 people hanging with us. Appreciate you all.
I've got some names to holler out.
Yeah,
Ready?
go on.
Yeah, Pork Chop, Soul Texas Adventures, Buck Williams, Mike's Fishing Home on CFF, Matt Wanna Be Outdoors, Mike Stokes Fishing, Real Time Catfishing, The Bullock Experience, Guerrero, or I can't say that name. Guerrero, we'll stop with that one. Full Blown Country, Anthony Duckworth, Marilla Family Fishing, Clayton the Fishing Net, and Creole Catfishing.
Yeah, welcome everybody. All right, so I had a secret that I was going to reveal, but it's already come out in chat.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, we have our special guest this weekend will be Cause at the dock.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna do her show tomorrow night and then head this way. So you will probably see her fishing with us Friday night or afternoon or whenever she's rested enough and we can get on out there. We're gonna do our Friday night thing. I'm sure we'll be live on somebody's channel, whether it's Aaron's or Cause's or mine or somebody's. So keep an eye out for that. Can't wait for her to come. Yeah, I just saw that I was saving that as a surprise for the end. Josh, you ruined it, Josh, you big dummy.
What's up, Danny Stone?
Yeah.
David Smith has a question for you, Aaron. How was Aaron and Lisa's first experiences eating the famous dock breakfast sandwich?
Well, I don't think Lisa has had that yet, but my first experience eating it was like sent down from heaven above.
Yeah, you're right. I think that first morning, Lisa, she didn't have one that morning.
Yeah, if you ever come to the dock, the breakfast sandwich, even if you don't catch a fish, the breakfast sandwich the next morning makes up for not catching any fish.
And she has made the special bread for the breakfast sandwich. She did that yesterday, I believe. So I do believe there will be breakfast sandwiches.
Cool deal. They're awesome.
It's the best thing I've ever eaten. She always asks us what you want to eat.
You do eat bologna all the time. I mean, go figure.
I like sandwiches, but she's like, what do you want to eat? And I said, 2 breakfast sandwiches. One for breakfast and one for dinner.
You know, a lot of people have come and, you know, when she puts 2 sandwiches on the plate, and well, I'll just have one and I'll take it to go. And everybody has had the second sandwich immediately after the first. Ace Catfishing in the house. Welcome, Ace. What's up with that LG guy up there? He can't fish. Yep. You know that. I did get a PB recently, though. I did break my PB, Ace. 56 pounds, 14 ounces. Yep, Josh. Yep. Can't wait to meet you, Brenda.
As long as Cause knows that if a rod goes down, it's hers.
Yep. Yep. We're on a mission. I don't know. Cos, what's your PB? If you would, put that in chat. I know I didn't tell you.
I know it is. I'll let her write it.
While we're talking PBs, Aaron, where did you catch your PB?
I caught my PB off of the dock. Funny story. I go up there to fish every Friday, like I said. And so Tom gets a phone call, and somebody's wanting to come pick up 3 bushels of onions, or whatever you want to call it, 3 bags of onions that they ordered. So Tom's like, hey, you want to go with me to pick these up? And I said, no, I'm going to go down there and fish. I'll be down there when you get back. So I go down there, throw Pinky out. I didn't even get the other rods out. I had went back to the truck to get another rod, and by the time I did that, Pinky got hammered. And I'm like, as soon as I could pull Pinky up, I'm like, man, this is a good fish. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have a net. Tom's not here, and this is a massive fish. I don't know what's going to happen. So they do have a little cement boat ramp there. So I said, well, all I can do is go over here and try to slide the fish up the boat ramp. I said, that's the only thing I can do. So I'm sitting there, fought the fish for about 10 minutes, slid it up the boat ramp, went and grabbed my phone. I called Tom. I said, where you at? He said, fixing to pull in the driveway. I said, no, you ain't. Come down here. I need you. He said, well, he said, I'm on my way. So by the time he got down the hill and he seen the fish, he's like, oh, wow, oh, my. And it was 61 pounds, blue off the dock.
Yep.
There's been some big fish caught, 40s, 50s, 60s, and now 92 or 94, whatever Art wants to call his. Congratulate Art, because that is definitely a fish of a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think mine's a fish of a lifetime too. So I mean, it couldn't happen to a better person in my eyes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he settled on 93 because we just guesstimated the net to be 2 pounds, and it turned out it was like 1 pound 4 ounces. So he couldn't get it to lock in, but he originally thought it was 92. So he gave it a little bit extra for the lesser weight on the net.
Right.
But yeah, what a monster fish that was. I know we talked about that a couple weeks ago when it happened, but I was amazed. My eyes bugged out of my head. I didn't at first. It was cold, and I had just gotten in the Jeep to warm my feet up a little bit. And when the rod went down, and Art and Josh went down there to deal with it, and I said, I'm going to sit here. And yeah, he's got a big fish. It's probably a 40 or a 50. And I said, but yeah, my feet need to be warmed. And They got that thing within sight of the dock, and I saw that whole body come out of the water as he did a tail flip. And I said, my eyes, I look like Chief Brody on Jaws when he saw the shark for the first time. So my eyes just got big and bugged out. And I said, my God, he's got a giant. Kenneth, who was sitting with me. And I couldn't believe it. I was so happy for him. I was glad I could be part of that for him. You know, what a memory. And sadly, you know, any other night, Josh had a 47. That would have been the monster fish of the night. And Art's was twice that size. But good times with the boys.
James Kirkpatrick, it would be a blue catfish, buddy. I think the raw power of a blue catfish when they first hit is unbeatable.
Yep. Creole said lots of great contenders for Blue Cat of the Year, and it's only April. Yep. Tell you, this past month, man, it's been on fire. There's a lot of big fish being caught. I mean, I wasn't as deep into it last year this time, so I don't really remember. Maybe there was, and I just didn't hear about them. But now that I'm more in the community, I hear a lot more. But wow, it's been on fire. I don't know if you said hi to Catfishing Crappie, Jodi. I just see him.
He just
And
stepped in. And
to
Tina
stand.
Ladybug.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Tina Ladybug just come in
Tina.
also.
Welcome, Tina.
Two Stans is in here now. What's up,
Mhm.
Stan? Yeah, I got to meet Stan too. Stan's a pretty cool guy. I know my first experience
Yep.
with Stan is we walked out to the end of the dock and I was telling him where to throw, and I threw one of my rods, and I bet we were standing there just for a split second, and then a rod goes down. He said, "Did that just happen?" I said, "Undoubtedly it did." Stan's super cool. He's a nice guy. He loves the breakfast sandwich just
Great
like
guy to
everybody
fish
else.
Yeah, I think that's his second favorite story, the breakfast sandwich story, after the other story that we don't talk about. But he can tell the breakfast sandwich story. It takes about 30 minutes to hear the full description of it. And Michelle loves it every time. Ace wants to know, Jodi, what's your PB?
I have a 45 blue and a 42 flat and a 3-pound channel. I got off the dock.
You ever caught one of those barracudas?
I did catch
Those stick-
one, but I didn't get it in the boat. It wouldn't begin to get my net. I just had to look at it. I got it at the top of the water and had my net there. I didn't even try to put it in it. There's no way it was in it. It was huge.
Wow. The stick-nosed barracuda.
Yeah. And that was only about a month ago, maybe. I caught it. Well, I didn't catch it.
Wow.
I got it up to the boat and I got to look at it floating. Then it dove back down. That was it.
And Stan said, yeah, and we didn't even catch our 122-pound blue cat yet.
No.
Let's see. All right, so Aaron, let's talk. David, Chris, you should have measured that fish. I say it's more than 86.5. That was a monster fish. And, David, I kind of thought that too, just for a brief second. I said, man, I wish he had measured it. But, when you're racing like that, when you're by yourself and you got a big fish like that and you're worried about getting them back in the water, and you got to plan for that, unless you have one of those big boards. But I keep a cloth tape all rolled up in my tackle bag so that I can get to it pretty quickly. And that's what we did with archfish. But yeah, I don't think I would have had the composure to try to even think about digging that out if I was by myself.
Hello, Uncle Luke.
Kaz says her barracuda was 40 pounds. All right. Hello, Uncle Lou. Welcome. And Chucky Morgan, I don't know. It's the first time I've seen Chucky's name pop up. He might have been just being quiet. Let's talk about tournaments. You have hosted some tournaments in the past. How did that come about?
Well, you always got to hear and see all of these tournaments that never was anything for the bank people, except for Chad had was strictly for bank people, should I say. I mean, Chad had the blues tournament, and that was boater or bank. But me being a bank fisherman, I was like, you know what, I want to do something just for the bank people. So the first tournament I put together was a 7-7 tournament, 7 p.m. to 7 in the morning, all night. That was hosted by two stands. Had enough people to do a second night, but I just couldn't find nobody to host it. So we ended up only doing a one-time tournament that time. So everybody liked the concept of it. So we ended up doing one in the fall. It was another 7-7. Stan hosted the first one, and Miss Becca hosted the second one, so Stan could fish. It was a great turnout. Everybody had a lot of fun, and there was, I think, on the first night of the second 7-7, there was, I'm wanting to say, over 100 fish caught between Brian B, Stan 2, I think John Orler. There was a bunch of fish caught on the first night of the tournament.
Yeah.
Second night of the tournament, there was nowhere near the entertainment it was the first night. Wasn't as many fish caught, but still everybody had fun. Everybody had a great time. And so then I come up with the idea of having, let's do a 7 to 2 in the morning. That way, in case people, they don't want to stay out all night, and people in the stream, they get to watch a little lot better. And so I wanted to do a surprise partner tournament. So therefore, I had everybody that wanted to fish the river in a river system. I paired them with somebody in a lake system. So that way the lakes was separate from the river. And the surprise partner come up. It helped some people and hurt some people, according to Brian B. But either way, it was an awesome tournament. It was fun. It come down to the second night of that tournament, to where I think it was the last 3 minutes of the tournament. Up until that point, I think it was Steve Adams and James Kirkpatrick that was winning.
Yep.
Steve had caught, I think it was a 45 or 46 in the mud, everything. I mean, I felt bad. He kept falling down on the bank. Everybody was worried about him, but he caught one monster fish, and then
He was slip sliding away.
and Steve got this wrapped up, and then next night, Big Mike, at 3 minutes to go in the tournament, hooked up to a monster on the Tennessee River.
Yep.
And he ended up beating Steve Adams within the last 3 minutes of the tournament. Him and Rico, local 336, who's also another guy I've got to meet. He's a super nice guy.
Yes, he is. Yep.
But now everybody's wanting me to do another 7 to 2 tournament, and I'm trying to do it this time where I'm going to pair a boater with a bank person to see how that goes. And I'm trying to work it in to where it ain't nobody got nothing going on that weekend, and do it like on a Friday and a Saturday, back to back, instead of waiting a weekend or two. So if I get that worked out and get it put out there, it's, depends on how many people I can get to sign up for it. It'll be a surprise partner tournament also. And I think it'll be pretty fun. It's always fun to find out 2 days before your tournament who your partner is.
Yeah, I think one of the side notes to the first day of that tournament was John Parker was joeying for Lizabella, and he ended up catching a 26 or a 25, 26, 27 pound fish. And I was never so happy for anybody than to see John with a big fish. He puts in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and just to see the smile on his face was priceless, even though he wasn't, a contestant. It was just great to see him out there with a fish.
Stone, you ain't got to quit your job.
Yeah, Danny. So when do you have a timetable, or when you kind of think you might want to do this, or?
Well, I'd like to get it done pretty soon before I ended up going back to work. That way, if I have to host it, I can host it here at the house, no problem.
Right.
And do it that way. I had offered to let Jodi take over the 7-7 tournaments, and you know how she likes to weasel other people into things, like shows, like the show that we're on right now that she talked LG Bass into doing.
Yep. She
So,
did.
I know Jodi has her thing on Thursday nights, and that's super cool to watch everybody fish.
Yep.
She does good when she gets out there and gets out of her head and starts fishing like she's supposed to.
You got a full house tomorrow night, Jodi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Mike's Fishing Home, Catfishing Curtis, Danny Stone Outdoors, Daryl from Trophy Seeker Outdoors, J-Dog, No BS Catfishing, Big Skip, and Steve Adams. And then Stan's going to host.
Excellent. And that's 10 o'clock on Jodi's channel. That's also in the description for tonight, the link for tomorrow's broadcast on Jodi's channel.
Yeah.
As well as, I didn't mention earlier, Aaron's page. The link is up there. Also, he has a new merch site, as you can see, Aaron's hat and his Show Your Shirt, Aaron.
Well, this is a Teespring shirt. I still have Teespring too, but I've got hats on Spreadshop.
Okay, and we got some more merch right there. Show us off that shirt. Mount up.
Yeah. It's pretty.
Yep. And your hat.
Of course, Jodi, all she wants is black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you might be wondering what this is that I've been wearing. I have this hat that Aaron gave me. So he's got some cool stuff on there. I don't even know how many items you had on there. There was a bunch. So the link for that is on there as well as the NC Jelly Donuts under Aaron's links.
There was a shirt on Teespring with a donut on there that was made especially for LG Bass.
Yes. Well, I have on my shirt too. It's tough for me to show it here. Wait a minute. Hold on. Nope, still can't do it.
I'll be flashing it now.
It's there. And the big one on the back. So the big decal on the back. So it's really cool. Yeah, I have a whole line of Aaron's merch. And I have a new order coming in from the new site. So I think I have a hoodie, a zip-up hoodie, a long sleeve shirt, the short sleeve shirt with the donut on it. From Jelly Donuts. That's where the catfish is. The Fisherman's actually hooked with the donut on the end of the rod. And, obviously, I'm the coffee mug guy, so I got the coffee mug, and I don't know what else we got, but we got more stuff coming in that we'll be showing off. I got a notification that was shipped out yesterday, I believe it was. So. What about you, Jodi? You got any merch coming out anytime soon?
No, but I'm thinking, I've got people asking, so I'm thinking of doing a store.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them I make myself. I just
Mhm.
don't have the time. You know, I
Yeah,
think
well,
I'll
you give people your shirts and then you take them back and, give them away to other people.
but I do that.
Yeah, you would. Did you hear that, Aaron?
Yep, I heard it.
Well, did you hear
How,
the end part of it?
how
She
did you
gave it
get?
away.
How did you get to do this show, Tom? Tell us that story.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah,
Let me put me on big screen just for a second here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the, get your finger on me, please. There's the donut with the catfish on the back of the t-shirt.
I see that
And
now.
then the front. So this was my very first shirt. But I went with the dark one, makes it easier to see on here tonight.
We had nephew Austin come in.
And there's Avid. I haven't seen Avid. He might have been in here, but I just haven't seen him. Welcome, Avid, if you just popped in recently. Still have 42 people.
Jodi should do pillowcases. The irony of being never asleep.
I sleep, just not in the bed. I sleep everywhere else.
Sleep in a chair. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, so yeah, to pick up on what Aaron was saying, after some of you probably heard this story too, over the past 25 weeks, but after Jodi was here the very first time, we got to talking a day or two after she had left, and she asked me if I wanted to do a show with her, and I didn't have much going on as far as I had a page, but really not good. She says, well, I just assumed it would be on her page and I'd be her co-host. And she said, oh, you can do it on yours. Don't matter to me. And next thing I know, she had a guest and everybody else, and it was on my channel. So it's like, I went from not even having a clue. 24 hours later, I had a show and a guest to do.
I
So,
guess you could say that you're Jodi's PB.
Yeah.
And we were so lucky that the very first show, I get nervous every week, but we had John and Dana on the show, Parker, and that was just fun. Yeah, it was fun just to sit back because I didn't have to be in too much control because they were rolling with it. It was a great time.
Bugman wants to know if your LG bass shirts are for sale.
I don't have any. I don't have a store at this point, Bugman. I can look into getting some made up, on an individual basis if you're interested in that. Bobcat did the logo for me, and he did the shirt. And I'm looking into other stuff at the moment with him. So stay tuned to that. I don't, like I said, I don't know if I would open a store or just do it, on a case by case basis for anybody that wanted it, or, get a bunch of orders together and do them all at once for people. But it's possible if you're interested. Just let me know. Reach out to me. Okay. Art wants to know, why does Aaron like Mad Cats?
Well, like we was talking about, we first started met up and doing fishing. It was going to be a nighttime fishing thing, and even with some of the lighting and the lanterns and everything like that. I mean, we used to fish a place called Fifth Street, and they have a street lamp. You don't even have to use a lantern or nothing. You just go put your rods out. And we did a live over there one night and got to noticing the next day that you can't even see the rod. You can't see the rod get a bite. You can't see the rods do nothing. So I had already had two Mad Cats rods then. I had the original Patriot and I had the Blue Ghost at the time. And I was like, you know what? I said, Mad Cat's just come out with some new colors. I said, I like the rods. So I went and bought 5 new ones right off the bat the next day, all colored up schemes. I got pinky and I got 2 orange crushes at the time. I got the Venom. I ended up getting a green surge rod, which I give to LG because I don't like green. Go figure.
Yep.
But anyway, I got 5 rods, and they showed up extremely well at nighttime. So me and Tom was over fishing at I'm trying to forget who all was. No, it was just me and Tom. We was over fishing Fifth Street, and I had like 10 rods out, and we was fishing up there because Tom had caught a 35-pound flathead, and we was fishing about 75 yards down the bank from where the truck was at, and I had them car alarms. I call them car alarms, but they're bite indicators, so you ain't got to be sitting there watching the rods. And when they go off, they're as loud as car alarms. So that was one of the funniest moments that I ever remember with LG Bass. This man, one of them things went off. I mean, Carl, we're 75 yards, and I'm gonna tell you what, it took him about 5 minutes to get up to speed on his way down through there. But whenever he was trucking, and I'm like, please, Lord, don't let him fall. Please don't let him fall. If he falls, at least tuck and roll. At least tuck and roll. Please just tuck and roll. Don't get hurt. So he finally got up ahead of steam, and I just knew he was fixing to fall. I just knew he was going to fall. Finally, he got caught up with his body, and he got up there and got that rod. And at the time, it was his PB Blue Cat of 27 pounds, 12, I think 27, 36 or 46 ounces.
27 something, yeah.
So I take a picture of it and I send it to Matt Knight, the owner of Mad Cats. And I'm like, all right, cool. So by the time that I had sent the picture, one of my rods goes off. And I go down there, and it's a 22-pound, 46 ounce fish. And I'm like, oh, man. And by the time I got back with a picture for that and sent that to Matt and sit down after getting them back in the water, I had a message from Matt Knight. He says, hey, give me a call. I'm like, okay, I don't know who this is. I didn't know who it was at the time. So I called, and he said, hey, this is Matt Knight. I said, the owner? He said, yeah. He said, I just want to thank you and what you're doing for the rods. And, you're out fishing Kerr Lake. And this is like 10:30 at night. And I'm like, man, how cool is it that the owner of the company wants you to call them and tell you thank you for buying their rods? And I mean, right then I was sold. I mean, the customer service, I mean, for a man to take time out of his day to call you, to tell you thank you for the rods and catching the fish with them and posting the pictures. That meant a lot to me. And ever since then, all the bright rods that they come out with, I try to get, but I'm up to my limit right now. I've set a limit for myself of 10 Mad Cats rods. I sold 2 of my orange crush rods to Dale Hayslip. But other than that, I'm back to 10 Mad Cats rods, and I have 1 Uncle Lou rod, which is the bottom rod right here. Then I have Pinky, then I have the Yellow Jacket, and so forth. The Rocky, I don't know if y'all familiar with Mad Cats or not, but Mad Cats has a cool program going out for anybody that catches a record, channel cat, flathead, or blue. I mean, they will pay you money as long as nobody beats that fish. I mean, there's no limit. They put a no year limit on how much money you can make. They estimated I think Rocky Baker's rod is up there, the black and orange one, the one that he design's got his name on it.
Right. Yeah.
He's made over $15,000 in less than 6 months? I think 6 months ago, $15,000 just on one rod.
That's incredible.
But they did come out, and just this week, they come out and posted a new bracket, and they said channel cats, flatheads, or blues is the new thing Mad Cats is doing, and there's no limit on how much you can make, as long as you have the record. Which I think is super, super outstanding for anybody that is lucky enough to catch a record fish. I mean, you never know when that'll happen.
Yeah. And, you know, you got to have that ability to keep a record fish alive. You know, and of course, there's all sorts of stories about that going around lately, but we won't get into that. But, you know, it's like if I thought of that, you know, if we ever did, you know, catch a real giant, I mean, we would have to just release it immediately. We got no way to keep it off the dock or, you know.
Well, that's the thing is you have to be able to let the fish go alive in order to do it.
Right.
I mean, they want the fish to go back alive.
Yep. But yeah, that's a heck of a program. And you know, the other thing with the Mad Cats, I said you started out, if you remember, when we first asked you why did you buy Mad Cats, because none of us really knew who they were. You said because you wanted to be different. You want to be different than everybody else. You know, I had my blue cat rods, and everybody had the big cat fevers. You know, the 1-ton head. And so I want to be different. And then you got everybody to buy Mad Cat's rods, so you're not different anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a good product. I mean, if Uncle Lou at the time would have had his rods that hadn't come in yet, I would have probably ended up with all Uncle Lou rods, and that's just the honesty of the fact. But I know Uncle Lou thinks a lot of Matt Knight, so they talk, and that means a lot to me. I mean, it is what it is. But I would have probably ended up with all Uncle Lou rods if Uncle Lou at the time would have had his rods that, shows up under a light like that one right there does.
Right. Yeah.
If you fish at nighttime, even without a black light, I mean, you can watch half the shows from the dock. We just got little rechargeable, hyper tough lights that last anywhere from 2.5, maybe 3 hours. Of course, I have had some last 5 and 6, which I don't understand how, but we have had, we've got them little hyper tough lights, last 2 or 3 hours. And one of them, we put it out there. You could see the rods nice. They show up real great. But if it goes bad, you just put it in the vehicle, get another one out, and put it back out there.
Yeah, we have a whole array of those, and they're rechargeable. So, the small ones for $15, I think they are at Walmart. They're a great investment, for the night fishing.
I mean, you get 8 of them, you might as well sit her. That's enough for you to fish all night with.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Later, Mr. Gadget.
Hi, Mr. Gadget. Thanks for coming in. But yeah, talking about the rods, as I said, I have 4, 5 Mad Cats rods, 3 Muddy River Blue Cats, or 2 Blue Cats and a Flathead rod, and my Uncle Lou's rod that I got for Christmas. I had Uncle Lou's Christmas, and I love them all. You know what I mean? I've caught 50+ pound fish on the Mad Cats and the Muddy River, and I never once had a thought that that the fish were going to overpower those rods or the reels that I had on them, and I never felt I was out of control. They're well made, and I have a couple of ugly sticks, which is what I started with, and I can't imagine what the fight might have been with a rod that limber had I got one of them.
You a question, Tom.
Yeah.
How many of my Mad Cats rods has your PBs come on?
Well, geez, I don't know. I mean, because the PB has changed so many times in the last year. Because I'm really just getting started at this.
Well, the PB before this one, I know didn't.
Yeah.
Your flathead wasn't on one of my Mad Cats, Rob, but it was on
Right.
my Akuma rod.
Right. Yep. Yeah, we have whoever gets to it first policy. You know, because we spread our rods out so much, you know, if you're standing by it and if it goes over, grab it. You know, so I kind of lucked into that flathead. I only caught 2 flatheads last year. One here in Gaston, there was like 3 pounds, and the one at Kerr that was 35, which was my PB. But I think that's my goal for this year. And obviously, the dock doesn't sound like the place to do it, but I'd like to try to get some flatheads this year. Maybe not just to catch them, just to say that I can catch them. But the dock doesn't provide us an opportunity for that. But I know I caught at least one of my PBs on the Muddy River, and then I caught the bigger one that night was on the Surge, I believe, which is Mad Cats.
That's a good idea, Tiger.
Let's let me see if I can find the comment. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the thing with their program from Mad Cats is you got to have at least a shirt or a hat with Mad Cats on it, you know, to be eligible for the record, and then pass a lie detector test. So,
Yeah.
which is understandable.
Yep. Stan says most of the rods are awesome. It's about personal preference and customer service, like Aaron was saying about Mad Cats, or there is Chris Flores from Muddy River, or Lee from Uncle Lou's Rods, etc. Yeah. All great people, you know, and I enjoy talking with them. I enjoy their products, and I have all the faith in the world in them. But I know Aaron says he's done buying rods, and I say bull, because the next time a nice bright shiny rod comes out, yeah, oh yeah, I know what you're doing. I know you believe it. I know you believe you ain't gonna buy another one, but
Done.
okay, we'll see. What if somebody else bought you one? Would you turn it down?
Submit, Duggar. No, I won't turn it down, but I'm not buying no more. Not saying that I won't give you the money to buy me one, but I'm not buying no more.
Skull Rush is in the house. I'm not sure if he just popped in. That's the first time I'm seeing him in the chat. I'm sitting here finally looking at my Mad Cat's 10-foot orange crush. Came in today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good luck with that, Skull Rush. I know you like it.
We've had quite a few come in. Don R., Lyle, Stephen Sheets, Gray Wolf Outdoors, Mr. Duggar, Some Old Man Outdoors, TX Tiger, Skull Rush, and Outdoors Addiction.
And was it Finley River Kennels?
Kennels, yeah.
Yep.
Finley River Kennels, yeah.
Yep.
Raylo says he can handle that, Tom. This is what agents do.
Let's see.
I don't consider it a loophole, cause come on now.
Yep, there's always a loophole. What about you, Jodi? Is there any gear in your near future, or anything you're looking at, or
I've got to
anything
buy
for the
some
boat?
reels. I've got to get some reels. Well, actually, I just bought an anchor.
Yeah.
Never lost anchor. And then when I couldn't land that spoonbill, or what's it called?
Spoonbill.
Okay. I got to thinking, here I am spending all this time and money trying to get a PB, and then I can't even land it because my net's not big enough. So I went and bought the biggest whisker seeker net they had Friday.
Nice.
And I used it that night. I caught a
Hey, I take it you got new ropes, hopefully.
Yeah, he I asked him to throw in some ropes and some stickers, and I think he's gonna send me a hat too.
All right.
He said I was a wheeler and a dealer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but yeah, but I can't figure out what reels to get. I only want to spend 100 or less. I want to hold a lot of line and cast guard and bring in a big fish with a power handle. So I can't figure out what to get.
Well, you know what I'd say, but it's a little bit over 100, and you didn't like it anyways.
Well, I'm gonna get like
You don't
I
do
need
very
like
well with advice, Tom. Can I go ahead and throw that out there?
what I don't listen to advice.
You don't listen to any advice at all anybody gives you.
I do.
Tom told you to get to one of the best rod reels out there, and you're like, you got it, and you don't like it.
One of them was messed up.
Yeah, what it was, but one of them wasn't. Actually, I just bought
What you
a new reel, a new Abu 6501, one of the older. Actually, it's a 6,000. This one's a 6001. It's an older black reel made by Abu, and I'm going to put it on my the Muddy River Flathead rod. And it's a little bit smaller than 6500, but the Flathead rod's a little smaller than it's a 7-footer. So I think it's going to go nice on there. And the reel is an actual, you say the older Abus are the better ones. This one was made in 1988. So
Not Josh.
it's looking, the pictures, it looks real good. The guy says it works real great. So I've got that coming, and I got it at a pretty decent price. He had to, buy it now or make an offer, and I made him an offer, and he accepted it. So I just got that today, so I'm kind of excited about it.
What's up, Tim Molina?
Hey, welcome, Tim.
Howdy, Tim.
So, Jodi, are you going to be alone on the boat tomorrow, or you got somebody with you?
We'll just have to see.
Pinky, it's alive.
I'll probably be alone.
Okay. Well, we'll be there with you.
Yeah.
Let's say, Jesse from Outdoor Addictions, is that worth listening? Welcome, Jesse.
Mad Catch does have a blue pole done. It's called the Blue Ghost. It's actually blue and has orange around the eyelets.
Did you see the picture of Freddie's Patriot 2.0 with the Patriot Abu that he was gifted? Looks sweet.
But I'm gonna try to get this tournament put together as soon as I can. Like I said, if I have to do 2 days, that's what, 8 people, 4 teams a night, on it to do it. But I've already got people messaging me and everything all along before tonight wanting in on this tournament. So I know I can say what the prize is going to be for the winners is I'm going to give away 2 Mad Catch rods of your choice, whatever color you want or whatever. As far as any other prizes, if anybody wants to chime in and help or donate or whatever, then I'm all whatever you want to do, but I'm not asking for it. I just know what I can and what I can't do as far as giving away, and 2 Mad Catch rods is going to be enough for me.
Well, if you if you want to try to, maybe we can, since we're going to be fishing all night this weekend, and if you want to try to hammer some of that out, we can take a look at the schedule of some of the other tournaments. Since, you know, I know that's kind of one of the things you're trying to figure out. You don't want to go over anybody else.
Yeah, I don't want to go over nobody. Oh, and I don't want to go over anybody's night to fish neither.
Right.
I do know Fishing for Whiskers. She is planning on coming to fish Kerr, and I think she said something about maybe wanting to stop by the dock and fish in the dock too, Tom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, I've seen her in chat tonight.
I have not forgot about that. I know she's coming to Kerr. I know.
Yeah, definitely. She's more than welcome, or we can go over there and fish with her if she wants us to, or she can come here too. That's all well and good with me.
Right. Yeah. Y'all can get in touch with anybody that knows me if anybody wants to donate. I know Pork Chop wants to donate some stickers and stuff, and we'll get with all of that whenever I can pinpoint the time for the tournament. Then I can get everybody's name down, because I don't want to miss nobody that has told me that they want to be in it, and that's what I'm afraid that I'm gonna end up doing, is missing people. So if I got to do it to where maybe if I got enough people to, people want to do it 2 weekends in a row, then maybe I can do that. It'll just have to see what's going on for that to go down the way it is. But as of right now, it's going to be a surprise partner tournament, a boat angler with a bank angler, and it's going to be a 7-2 tournament instead of a 7-7. That way it lets people go home and rest in case some people has to work on Saturday.
All right, and Steve Adams has said he'd like to get in on the 7-2, so keep him in mind. But if you're making a list, checking it twice.
I haven't got a list with me, but I know Danny Stone said he threatened to quit his job, so I know he wants in. So
Lance did too.
Lance, okay.
I'm pretty sure he did in chat.
once I get it out there, the people that I know for sure that has said it, then like I said, if I got to do it 2 weekends in a row, if I have enough people for that, then I'll try to get it to where if that happens, then there'll have to be 2 weekends where I know there's no tournaments going on. Yes, Curtis, I said bank angler paired with a boat angler. You don't know who your partner's going to be.
All right. Fishing for Whiskers says June 9th through the 16th is when she's planning to travel. Yep. Get in touch with us. We can certainly work something out. Love to get together with you. And looks like you might have another willing participant.
See what Lance wrote.
Dang right, I'm a bank angler. All right, I'm trying to make a short list of what I see here, Aaron, for you. Let's see. Although, you know,
bank than boat. Is that gonna be your trouble? Find enough boats?
Do what?
Do you think you have enough trouble finding enough boat people? You got plenty of bank.
Yeah, I know. I knew I was going to have plenty of bank people, and I know you said you wanted to do boat because you have a boat. Brian B. and I think even Has said he would do it if it was a boat.
All right.
So Jodi's in the boat category for sure.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure Brian B. and Has said that they would, and Stan says he could do boat. I'll get it together. I'll look at Palmetto's board and see if all the tournaments and stuff's up there, and go from there. I think it'll be a fun tournament with people not knowing who their partner is until like a couple of days before. Then we'll draw it off the wheel.
Yeah.
And go from there.
You know, I think though, in one respect, as far as overlapping other people, you know, it might be tough to find a weekend when there's actually nothing at all planned, but the fact that you do it at night, where most everybody else does it in the mornings, at some point, you might have to do it that way, but it really wouldn't overlap.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people's has their morning tournaments up until midday, and I mean, so I mean, it's not. I don't have to fish it. I just enjoy putting it on for y'all because I know there's a lot of people out there that is very interested in doing this, just because it portrays, you having somebody in a boat that can potentially help you win versus, you're liable to be Big Mike and get paired with Big Mike, somebody on the boat. I mean, I guess that would be a dream team, but we all know he skunks from time to time too. So I mean, can't guarantee nobody.
Let's see. Don R wants to know length, weight, or biggest.
Well, I'm still at terms with that. I mean, I want to say the 4 biggest fish wins.
Now clarify that.
Well, 4 fish weighed in by team.
Can you clarify
I
that?
guess it's up to you or your partner to carry one another. If your partner catches all 4, then that's just the way it is. It's the way the tournament's set up. Like Rico, he didn't catch nothing, and Big Mike caught that one, and he won it for him and Rico. So it just is the way it is.
Okay.
So I would say that the 4 biggest fish weighed in per team.
Okay. And Lance says, hopefully get paired up with Miss Jodi. Would be my honor to be her partner in the Boat Bank Angler Tournament.
I mean,
There
who
you
went
go,
with
Jodi.
Lance? I mean, Lance is great.
Yep. And Stan says, if you saw his earlier message I put up there, I don't know if you read it, he'd be willing to help out. If you wanted to fish one night, or whatever help you need, he'll be willing to help you.
I would be honored fishing for Whiskers and Stan. Stan, I expect you to fish in it too, Stan, but you fished in all of them that I put on, so I wouldn't expect anything less out of you.
Yeah, matter of fact, he won one of the tournaments for most fish caught.
Yeah, I still think that's a tournament record for most fish caught in a tournament. It's what they did on the first night.
What did you get, 35 or 34 or something?
Yeah, between 3 people, they had over 100 fish caught.
Yeah. Fishing for Whiskers. She's not sure if you saw, but if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. I come with references.
Steve Adams says it'd be his luck he gets paired with Jodi and end up wearing a dress. I don't think anybody would want to see that, Steve. Just speaking from seeing a pork chop in a dress.
There's Jeremy saying he'll do a boat.
Isn't Steve all the time talking about a green bikini?
That must be late night.
It's a late night. He's all the time talking about a fishing partner in a green bikini. That'd be perfect for him to wear.
Well, we'll try to get it put together. I got some people that's wanting to help now, so the people's names that we could get wrote down that wants to do this bank versus bank and boats, just we're going to separate them that way, and then like I said, we'll pick a weekend where there's not much going on and can get this done and put on for everybody. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, maybe we can, like I said, try to hash that out this weekend so you can come out with something definite. Jeremy wants to be your partner. Aaron?
I don't know that I'm fishing in it, but we'll see. Depends on how many people we have.
David says we have a good bank spot.
You had
6 days, that's for sure, David. And then other days you're like I took on Troy in a 1v1, and I didn't think neither one of us was going to catch a fish. And that's a good video to go back and watch because you get to hear the whole story. Well, I think it's what, 2 nights after that, Jodi, he starts telling the story of the cat man. Oh gosh, there's been some awesome stories from that dog.
Mhm.
But
Hey, I want to say welcome to Paul.
the UFO was good, but the midget cat man, that takes the cake from all of them. Y'all would have to hear Troy tell that story.
He won't tell it no more.
No, but you've got to comment on that video when it was that he started telling that.
Yeah, I said the time.
Yeah, you time stamped that video. It's still up.
I know. I went back and watched it not too long ago.
But we have went from Bigfoot to midget cat man. And it's just a hoot, y'all. Y'all got to watch it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I want to say hello to Paul's Green Space. Says hello, everybody. It's my first time seeing Paul. Welcome.
Welcome, Paul.
So, yep, Stan said he caught 35 fish that night. He wanted that abbey.
You got small water charters, Tim Molina, and Catfishing Curtis.
Yep,
Pork
Grey
chop
Wolf.
is going to be the biggest catfish you could possibly catch, regardless of what it is, to help your teammate out. I mean, you're liable to catch the big channel cat. Your partner's liable to catch 4 fish bigger than that. That's where your teammate comes in. You and him talk it over whenever y'all catch the fish, and if you decide you want to throw one away, then you throw it away.
But now, if they have 4 and then they get another one, they can just eliminate the small one, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Grey Wolf says he does not want to see Steve in any bikini, green or otherwise. Okay, I think you just answered that one. All right, we're at the bottom. All right, I only had one other question as far as general conversation. I know you've been dabbling with the tiki-taki. Do you see any, because I haven't gotten into that. I have enough time keeping up with the YouTube people that I sub to, because I really want to give them as much time as I can. Do you see any crossover? Are you getting any people to YouTube from TikTok, do you think?
I'm not attempting to try it, but I can't blame anybody that does neither, because it's like I told Kelly Bullock and I think Mark the other day, it's 1,000 to 1 on TikTok versus YouTube.
Mhm.
You can reach 1,000 people over it, where you might reach 1 on YouTube.
Yeah.
If anybody's watched Has puts on a good show on both channels, and he'll have 400 to 600 people watching him on TikTok, where he might have only 30 to 40 watching him on YouTube. And yes, you can go over and bring people over from TikTok by, telling them you're going to give away and stuff like that. I mean, that's fine. I have no problem with anybody doing that. It's actually smart. I mean, you're reaching more people. A lot of people think it's TikTok it's a lot of teeny boppers on there, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of people on TikTok that fishes also, and they stream on TikTok. There is a community on TikTok that catfishes just like they do on YouTube. So it's actually pretty smart that somebody would go to 600 people and say, hey, y'all come over to my YouTube channel, and your channel grows because you're bringing people from TikTok over.
Right.
Versus anything else that's going on in the community, which I'm not even going to get into because it's none of my business regardless. So.
Right. No, I agree with
but
that.
as far as that goes, I have videos on my TikTok of a lot of the fish that me and you and Art, and Josh, and a certain individual on here of going into the water when she lost her bet, that'll always stay on my TikTok. But that's basically why I use TikTok. I mean, you can go on there and put 30, 40 pictures on there and put a video of a music to it, and it's there forever. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Unless you take it off, it's there forever. So that's basically why I use TikTok the way it is. All my videos, except for Jodi getting in the water, has got to do with fish being caught.
Right.
And that's why I use TikTok for that. I mean, I don't use it for. I think I've streamed maybe twice on TikTok, but as far as that, that's it. I mean, I just put videos and pictures of catches over there. That's all I do.
You might need to take that one of me down. That way, all your content.
No, Jodi, I don't. There's not enough money in the world for you to get me to take that one down.
Hey,
Matter of fact,
Stan.
I might go on there and republish it to get more views.
Oh.
I'm having a little bit of allergy attack here. Stan says, I've noticed that a lot of channels get a lot of views when someone is wearing a bikini in the thumbnail. I ordered a 4XL pink polka dot bikini. We'll see what happens. And to follow that up, Steve Adams says he's turning off notifications to Stan too.
There's nothing wrong with what anybody's doing as far as going over, pulling people over, because I mean it's growing their channel, helping them out.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like I said, because I'm not really party to it, I was wondering if it was helping your channel or whether they were two separate entities that don't merge.
This is the way I feel about my channel. I don't want to be pushed by nobody. I just want to be able to get to where I get. If I get there, I do. If I don't, I don't.
Right.
I'm not worried about 1,000. I've got a 40-hour week job. I don't need to make money on YouTube.
Right.
I started basically YouTube for people that maybe has a disability, that can't get out and watch somebody fish and have a good time, that can sit back and say, hey, you know, look at these guys out here. They're fishing. We can watch them through the night if we're up. You know, that's why I started YouTube. I didn't start YouTube to make money.
Right.
And that's the way I feel about my channel. That's the way I've always felt. I think as of last night, I think I'm 49 away from 500.
Wow.
And 500 is all I ever want. I mean, everybody out there is mad for all the wrong reasons as far as everything going on in the community right now. Well, you should be mad at YouTube. I mean, everybody that worked as hard as they did to get to 1,000 to be able to stream on YouTube can now do it with 50 people. I mean, you can go in over 50 subs and you can stream on YouTube.
Right.
You know, before it was all, I'll get to 1,000, I can stream on YouTube. Now you can do it with 50 subs. So, rest of that stuff, you know, like I said, it's none of my business, but they can do what they want to with their channel. It don't affect me at all.
Right.
You know how it is, Tom. Me and you, we've always been the same people on the dock. We have a good time. We don't deal with a bunch of drama. We pick and cut up with everybody, just like we always have. Nothing has been meant to hurt anybody's feelings or anything. We've just been me and you since day one.
Right.
And that's the way I'll always be.
Yeah, you know, I've kind of had a feel. I try to stay out of a lot of the drama. I see people's points of views, and some I agree with, and some I don't for different reasons. But my thing is, if I'm not enjoying myself, I don't want to do it anymore. And if it comes to a point where it's too much of an aggravation to even just go out and fish on a stream, and you know, then I won't do it anymore. You know, whether it be yours, mine, Art's, it don't matter. You know, if you're not having fun, what's the sense of it?
Well, I've had my finger on the button to delete my channel a couple of times, and Lisa won't let me. She's like, if you do that, you're letting everybody else win. You just need to continue doing what you and Tom does and enjoy yourself. I mean, basically, I stream now. If Lisa can't go fishing, I could be at the lake and she could watch me at home.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's about me streaming for other people versus me streaming for myself.
Right.
And that's just the way I feel about it. That's the way I'm always going to feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't get paid to worry about what Joe Blow down the road does or whatever, because that's his money, that's his time.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
if it
agree.
gets to the point where somebody comes in, hey, you know, y'all guys, y'all suck, y'all can't catch fish, blah blah blah, then I'll just kick them out of the stream and go on about my business.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. The end of the day, you got to be having fun. I mean, I don't have any aspirations of getting monetized, or, you know, I would like to only have the 500, just again, like everybody else, so that I can share out other people's stuff. You know, it's, say on Facebook, you know, if I share anybody's stuff, it probably doesn't help anybody, because everybody that I'm friends with, everybody else is friends with, and then in my family who doesn't fish, so it does no good to send it to them. And I don't think I have any clandestine fans or anything that nobody else has. So look at you changing colors.
Mm-hmm.
That looks good in the orange on your sign.
Oh,
Really
thank
makes it
you.
stand out. Yeah.
Thought it was supposed to color change, but maybe it ain't.
That's nice. Lisa did a good job.
There it is.
Yeah.
Lisa did what? But no, that's the way it is. That's where I see my channel going. If I get to 500, then, you know, I'm good. I can post my own tournaments, do everything I want.
Right.
I'm not worried about getting to 1,000. I'm not in it for 1,000. I'm in it just
Right.
to bring good content to people that wants to watch people fish from either the same place or a different place every Friday night when we decide to go fishing.
Right. David Smith says, wow, that does look good. And I want to just put this back up. Paul's Green Space, I've never used TikTok. I only just started my YouTube channel and been focusing on that. Well, good luck, Paul. So hopefully you'll hit some of us up, give us some subs and some likes, and we'll turn around and help you out, and do the same for you in return, and see if we can get you moving.
Dan, there ain't but one person that I know in this world that makes a killing on YouTube, and his name is Mr. Beast. He lives 45 minutes down the road in Durham, North Carolina, and that man makes 22 to 30 million dollars a year on YouTube, and turns around and gives half of it back into the community. And unless you're him, you ain't gonna make no money. I mean, he started out at an early age. And it's like I said, it's not about the money for me. It's about bringing good content for y'all to watch. I mean, it gives people like y'all who don't fish or who has something to do. I mean, Brian B's been in my streams on nights before a tournament before, where he stayed up all night long and then got up and went and fished.
Yeah.
But that's what it's about. It ain't about nothing else for me. It's just, you know, me and Tom's going to continue doing what we do on either my channel, his channel, or whatever, and that's the way it's just going to be.
Amen.
And if people don't like it, I mean, I hate to say it, but, you know, you came in to watch, you can leave to go watch somebody else. I mean, that's the way I feel about it.
Yep.
Just because YouTube is not paying my bills.
So you got the Christmas light effect going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, just a, you know, the other night when that battery, when the light went out and you thought the battery was defective, I put it back on the charger, said it was at 86%.
Which battery? Small battery?
The small battery. Yeah, the small one that we hooked up to the complex light.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't give it another
my
shot.
battery anymore. Come on now.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
Was
interested
anybody
to-
else?
I'm interested to get out here and find out. I think the cable man has actually, the maintenance guy stopped and talked to my nephew because I've called cable man every day this week because usually around midnight, the cable and TV and phone and all that goes out and stays out till about 5 o'clock in the morning since Monday of last week.
Wow.
So I've called them every single day. The other day I had the supervisor and another guy here at the same time. So I keep them on the roll.
Yeah, we actually have somebody from DirecTV. We just set up an appointment to have them come and see if they can tweak us a little bit because our service is so terrible. They offered to come out and take a look for nothing. So, okay, come take a look.
Cool.
What's Michelle saying? Mine would look like that if I let Tom do it. Yeah, she's talking about your wall and the lights.
And what's wrong with this, Michelle? At least the rod is up off the floor out of your way.
Well, if it was upstairs, she probably wouldn't care. But being that I'm sitting at the kitchen table, she probably doesn't want them on the wall behind me. It's like she nixed my the flathead that I got from Epic.
That would be a
That
good
is-
place for that. Right
That
where you're
is going
sitting.
up. Yeah. I thought it would look great for doing, especially doing the show right behind, have the flathead on the wall right behind us.
Yep.
So it might end up going upstairs into the game room. I got to change around some decor if we do that, but maybe I can see if I get decent enough reception up there to move my little studio up there.
Yeah.
In my bed. Yeah, I offered to, since she wouldn't let me put it up here in the kitchen, to suspend it from the ceiling so I could see it at night when I went to bed so I could dream about catfish. She didn't like that idea. I don't understand why. Well, does anybody else have anything you want to talk about we haven't talked about, Aaron?
No, that pretty well sums it up.
All right. What about
appreciate
you?
and Jodi for asking me to be on the show. I appreciate everybody that has stopped in tonight and said hello. That's why I'm in it for. I'm in it for everybody, that wants to come in and watch something. I
Right.
mean, we don't. Sometimes we sleep on the dock. Sometimes we have a good time on the dock. I mean, you never know.
That's right. There should be a rule though. You shouldn't be allowed to videotape anybody sleeping on the dock. Because it
Yeah,
happens to every one of us.
We might need to come up with that.
You can joke about it, but yeah, no YouTube and anybody because they got tired. As us as you get older, you will see that, Aaron. It's harder and harder to stay awake.
Oh, it's harder for me to stay awake, especially if I work Thursday night and then try to come up here on Friday.
yeah.
You already
Yeah.
know.
Fish in the Mid-South, welcome.
There's been days I don't even remember getting home on Saturday.
I know there's days, well, there's many days when,
Yeah,
You
we
said-
will discuss it, Tom. I know what you're
Okay.
gonna say.
yep. Stan says they all sleep on the dock. Trust me. Absolutely we do. You put an old man in a chair in the dark with no noise and
I
Yep.
will say, in Tom's defense, he holds the record for dropping his Dunkin' Donuts coffee and not spilling it because he falls asleep.
I did. I was holding the cup and it actually slipped through my hand and landed straight on the bottom of landed sitting right up, didn't spill a drop.
Now, as
That's
far as
skills right there.
Jodi holds the record for how many times a phone can drop out of your hand in one night, which is about 15.
Yeah, she needs to wrap that thing in bubble wrap or something. I thought for sure, as many times as that hit the asphalt, I thought for sure it was going to be cracked, and nope.
Hey, Alicia.
Hey, Alicia, I haven't been chatting, but I've caught a lot of it. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you.
Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Thank you, Elisa. But I've got a lot of good things out of YouTube. I mean, I got a new wife out of YouTube that I wouldn't take anything in the world for. I've met a lot of great people, and I hope to meet a lot more that comes to Fish to Dock. And that's what my goals would be for the coming years, to meet everybody that you can meet, fish with whoever you can fish with.
Right.
I know with gas up, prices going up and stuff, it's gonna be hard for people that wants to travel, but I mean, you're gonna have to do it eventually anyways, regardless if gas is up or not.
Yeah, they're saying it's going to go up again, sometime around June, but you'll never know. They're going to do what they're going to do. You really can't control it, like you said. You need to stay home or do something. Try to maybe not fish as often, but if you can sneak a trip in, take it.
That's right. But I thank you and Jodi for having me up. It's been awesome. I appreciate y'all for having my merch and showing support. It means a lot. And like I said, I appreciate every bit of it, Tom.
So we certainly appreciate you for sure. And let me read. David has a comment here. Well, I can honestly say, even though I haven't met the Instigator, I have heard of some of the blessings that he has passed on to other people. He may instigate things, but also sent blessings. Very well said, David. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. I do a lot of instigating. I got that name, Will, honestly. It comes and goes, it depends on what mood I'm in or what's being talked about. But everybody's liable to meet him eventually. I don't plan on going nowhere.
Well, that's good. Yep, we appreciate you coming on for sure.
Yes, sir.
I love you, brother. And
love y'all too.
I'm glad we could get you in. While you're out. Sorry that you're off from work, but now they've allowed us the opportunity to get you out here and have some fun with you. We appreciate you.
I tend to be there Friday is probably about midday noon, so I know Cons will probably be asleep from driving all night. So I'll make sure I go down there and catch the big fish while she's in the bed dreaming about it.
Well, you should have a good time.
Well, you certainly do. You do have that problem of going to catch fish prematurely.
Yeah, that was another story that we didn't get into, but during one of my 7-7 tournaments, we went down there to the dock, me and Tom, and we went, I was 2 or 3 hours early.
Yeah, a couple hours, yeah.
And I done drove all the way up there an hour to fish. I'm like, I come to fish, I don't care, whatever I catch, I catch. Who says it might not be there and by the time the tournament starts? And then
I tried to talk him out of it. I really did.
You throw out a fishing rod and Pinky goes down and it's a 40-pound fish, and you're like, well, I guess my tournament's done for the night.
And it was. Yep. I said from my bass days, you never hit that water before it's time for the tournament to start. And I just had a bad feeling about it, and sadly I was right. But you're right. It may not have been there 2 hours later, but we'll never know at this point. Makes for good conversation, though.
It was fun to catch while I caught it.
Yep. And Cause says, LOL, I'll be awake.
Well, it'll be good to meet you, Cause.
Yeah, you see, It's All Mine has now taken to calling Fridays Dock Invasion Day.
I tried to get Tom to create a board or something with everybody that has been to the dock to sign. It's a little late to do now, but
yeah,
we can start it from now on, and I'm sure everybody will be back eventually, and we can get them to sign it then.
I would go ahead and start it.
Yeah. I thought that too. I wish we had done that from the very beginning, and just had everybody sign something,
Yeah.
that we could have hung up and That would have been cool. But yeah, it may not be too late.
And take a picture.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you what, man, we're terrible about taking pictures.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know
It's
how
all
many
about-
people have come here with, we have no zero pictures to show for it, except for when they were eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of It's All Mine and eating, Michelle has a new video out that she put out 2 mornings ago, I believe.
Something about pasta, wasn't it?
Yeah, the baked ziti.
Yeah, I want to watch that. That's the kind of
Yeah.
stuff I like to eat, pasta.
Yeah, it was delicious. Yep. But all right, well, we're coming up on 2.5 hours, Aaron. We appreciate your time. Always appreciate your conversation, and thanks for sharing Miss Lisa with us tonight.
I'm sure she enjoyed it.
Yeah, hopefully she like she said, next weekend if she's not on call, she'll come with you.
That's right.
All right, anything in closing, Jodi?
Well, I just like to say I'm glad I got to meet all of you. I went and met you if I hadn't met Aaron, the instigator, with Jeremy.
Yep.
And then challenging me to the dock. So it's a blessing. Got to meet all of you and make friends. And
I will have to say that I am the only blemish in Jodi's entourage. You know why, Jodi? You have the only L suffered by me.
I
I think she's plotting.
actually lost to Creo. But it was a one pick one.
That was during the tournament. That don't
Yeah.
count.
It wasn't just our own one.
Right.
But as far as just, yeah, I only lost to Aaron.
Yeah, everybody heard that, right? You only lost to me.
I
So
hang
now
my head in the
Jodi
chat.
has a target on her back. I showed y'all that she can be beat and be taken down. So there you go. She's open for all comers.
I've gotten a lot better since then. I've listened to people and learned and took their advice and
I
put
bet
it
you
deep.
still can't throw to the channel.
I bet I can if I had the right reel.
Well, will there be a rematch at some point of the polar plunge?
Anytime she wants it, she knows where it's at.
Well, can I ask if, in fact, this were to happen, whoever takes the polar plunge, go out to Hades Hole and clean all that crap out of there while you're in the water?
I thought you and Jodi was going to do a fish off at one time. What happened to that?
Yeah, Tom.
Ooh.
I'm all for it, but you agreed that we weren't going to bet anything. We were just going to fish against each other for fun, which was what you agreed to.
Oh.
We're going to have a battle of the show host.
So I already took one of your sucker bets.
And here
Which I knew I
comes
shouldn't have taken up.
instigator. See how this works, David? This
Yeah.
is the instigating part.
Yeah, instigator right here in prime.
So
Yeah.
What I hear from Tom is he's not scared, Jodi. So what I need to hear from you is when is this going to take place?
I've got something the 14th and the 15th and the 4th.
Well, you know, me and Tom fish on the dock on Friday, so any Friday he's available and is ready. You just let him know.
Well, I ain't wearing no dress and I ain't eating no shad or nothing like that. So
I've got the perfect thing. I'll bring it with me. That way you can host the show at one night.
Y'all heard it here.
This isn't the hula skirt and the coconut bra, is it?
It's a sombrero hat and a poncho and then little mariachi things. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that I could probably do.
Jodi, you done made them do the walk of shame down the dock.
I did that.
He could do that too. Dun, 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 in the outfit.
Yeah. And what about you?
Y'all heard it here. It's
What
the
about me?
battle of the talk show host.
Yeah, when you lose, what are you going to do the same thing that you're offering me, or do I get to pick something?
Yeah, Jody.
I don't dance.
Neither do I.
Yeah, you did an excellent job at it the last time.
I was
Tomcat
scared.
strut.
It scared the crap out of me. I don't dance either. I have two left feet, and they both stay on the ground. So
Yeah.
I was petrified, and I said, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. And when Kenneth got up there with his walker and he did it, I said, man, I can't back out now. I got to go out there and do something.
Yeah.
And in the end, I had a good time with it. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I embarrassed myself. I looked like a jackass, and Michelle said, I can't believe you did that.
Well,
But it was
Jody,
fun.
you be sure to let everybody know when this is going to take place.
Yeah, just bring it.
Wow.
While holding hands. What's this?
With Josh and
With
Art.
Josh.
Strut down the walk, the dog.
There ain't room for Josh and Art and I to all walk down the dock at the same time. It ain't wide enough. Say, Stan, I lost it when Tom did the Hulk Hogan. I don't know what made me think to do that. Like I said, I walked down there. I had nothing in mind.
Well,
Just-
if my wife can find out what she wants to find that I've asked her to look for, it's going to be an interesting night at the dock whenever it comes in.
I said, Lance, Mark, if even if you've eaten, you'll get hungry watching that video. I think that's Michelle's video.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate you and Jody. I appreciate everybody coming in.
Yep.
Michelle said, just an ending. Michelle said, I said it was like a train wreck. You couldn't look away. No, it's a disaster. Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate that vote of confidence. Well, all right. Yeah, we'll end there. We just went over 2.5 hours and we still have 34 people watching.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you to everybody that came in and contributed to the chat tonight. And hope we didn't miss anybody in chat. We didn't mean to. Appreciate everybody being here. And thanks again to Aaron. We'll see you Friday. I think we're doing ribeyes Friday night. And then we have a little cookout thing maybe going on Saturday if you're going to stick around and have some of the fellas over. Uh-oh. Like a Twilight Zone thing.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I'm just trying to figure out what all these buttons does on this while I'm in a dark room.
My tail's getting sore sitting here. Let's end it.
Uh-oh. Let's end it then. All right. Well, everybody go and check out Pontoon Jodi tomorrow night on her Flathead Challenge on her channel, 10 o'clock. The link to her channel and to the specific live for tomorrow night are in the description here if you can't find it. Go and support her and everybody else in the tournament. And hopefully it'll be another great week like you had last week. You had a lot of fish caught last week.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fish. It was fun.
Yep. Excellent. Well, all right. We're going to let you go then, Aaron, and I will see you soon enough. And,
I'll see you on Friday.
Don't drop out when I end it, just so I can say goodnight. Jodi, thank you as always. You're the bestest.
Appreciate
And
it.
good luck tomorrow night. Hope you catch a monster.
Yeah, me too.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Or Jodi.
Thank y'all.
Everybody
Bye.
else, good night. And